Welcome to Rotary. With your unique skills and perspective, you are joining a global network of problem solvers, drawn together by desire to make a difference. Together, we can be bolder. When you share your ideas and connect with others, it's not just your community that benefits. You'll grow as a leader and feel a shared sense of purpose that comes from finding lasting solutions to big problems. Get involved in a way that's meaningful to you. Find a mentor. Sign up for a training. Volunteer in a service project. Or attend a global event. You are now connected to 1.2 million people of action who unite to create lasting change. Across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Welcome to Rotary.
You have to very quickly convey to a potential member the passion and commitment of a Rotarian. The passion for service that Rotarians have.
First is they have to feel that sense of fellowship. There has to be a warmth when they walk into that club meeting and it feels like home to them. And second, you've got to get involved. You've got to be involved in some sort of project or club activity.
We have to make it possible for younger people to join Rotary. Younger people are very committed to wanting to do good for the planet. We just have to make it so that they can join the Rotary movement. We have to create an environment so that they are willing to come in and participate.
What can social media do for you? Check this out. It's a true story. Meet Paul. He's a Rotarian who likes to swim. In 2012, he used social media to promote his club's global swim marathon. With email, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Google Maps, YouTube, and a blog, Paul spread the word. More than 200 clubs on 6 continents signed up. The big day came, February 25th. During 1 hour across 15 time zones, 4,546 people between 8 and 93 years old each swam 100 meters. If you're counting, that's 454 kilometers. The swim marathon raised more than $100,000 for polio eradication. It set a Guinness World Record, got headlines all over the world, and a whole bunch more people learned about Rotary. Since then, Paul's club has inducted 16 new members. Coincidence? Social media helped Paul communicate his idea, create enthusiasm, raise money, increase membership, and spread the word about Rotary. Oh, and a year later, the club's next swim marathon was even more successful. So think about it. What can social media do for you?
Rotary, to have a bigger name in the world, needs to talk about itself. I think Rotarians should take every opportunity to talk to their friends, their workmates, their clients about what they do in Rotary, so that the world at large has a far better knowledge about what Rotary does.
I think once you get people engaged and hooked in, you can do something a little bit more fast-paced, a little bit more interesting. Here's what it's all about. Show some of the international projects, the local projects. Really help people understand, wow, these clubs are doing really powerful things in my local community and across the world. And then that becomes very exciting to people.
I do think that Rotary and Rotarians who may tend to be humble need to step forward and take credit in the community for the work that's being done. I think it's extremely important that as we engage in new challenges that we make everyone in our community aware of the great jewel that's Rotary.
What I've learned from being a Rotarian is that there is so much more than just my community. As you know, the years have gone by, I've become much more internationally focused and understand that there's so much more that I can do as a part of a bigger whole than I could ever do on my own.
We may see ourselves as different individuals, but we're all connected. And therefore, serving other people actually is serving yourself. And that is a very important lesson I've learned as a member of this great organization.
You know, I've learned that every action I take has a reaction, and to always be cognizant of how that will affect other people is very important. And in a larger sense, how much a small group of people can accomplish when they put their minds to it.
To relate to older people who might be in need, and to younger people who can learn so much from somebody who has good faith. That's what Rotary has taught me, to be a person, to be able to relate to others.
Good morning, and welcome to our opening session for Saturday, June 13th, 2020. I am District Governor Ray Williams, and I am pleased to call this District Training Assembly to order. I would now like to introduce District Governor-elect Peter Verbeek, who is getting ready to start his journey as District Governor of this incredible district. It has been my privilege to serve you this past Rotary year and look forward to when we can all get back to the new normal, which I am sure will include being able to meet again in person, but also should probably include taking advantage of our new Zoom skills and the conveniences of virtual meetings. Peter, we are all wishing you the very best in your Rotary year ahead, and hope to be able to help you navigate back to the new normal. Peter, take it away.
Thank you so much, Ray. Hello, distinguished guests, fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and guests. This is our last of our 3-day of plenary sessions and breakouts, and we've left the best for last. And I declare this session open. And now, if you can, please all stand for the national anthem of the United States of America. And now, for our fellow Bahamian Rotarians and guests, please raise your glass and a toast to Her Majesty the Queen and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. the national anthem of the Bahamas, please. Thank you. And now for the flag that unites us and the anthem that unites 1.2 million Rotarians around the world in approximately 200 countries, the anthem of Rotary International. Thanks. And now for our invocation from my home club in Key Biscayne, Florida. We have the current president of the club, Patricia Amateleon. Patricia.
Dear friends, as the world transforms, may we Rotarians see the opportunity for heroism, leadership, and public service. Among the unprecedented volatility we are living today, may we Rotarians have the awareness that the noble virtues of honesty, generosity, justice, understanding, compassion, forgiveness, and civility are required now more than ever. Among the heightened fear and anxiety of our present day, may we see the opportunity to open our heart, amplify our impact, and show the best of humanity. Among the uncertainty, may we use this time of pause and reflection to unleash our true power, determination, and focus to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. This is our time to shine our brightest light, lift one another, and deliver on our vision of improving lives everywhere. This I believe. Amen.
Thank you, Patricia. A beautiful invocation. Folks, what a great session we had on Monday, training your club secretary, treasurer, and AGs. They should be ready to go to assist your clubs to move up to the next level. And I hope you were tuned in last night for the second plenary session when we had as our guest Rotary Foundation trustee Jennifer Jones with her compelling presentations. Folks, I predict she may become a first woman Rotary president. We'll see. But I'd like to start this session by thanking District Governor Ray Williams with this plaque. And it says, presented to Ray Williams, District Governor of 6990, 2019, 2020, in honor and with deep appreciation for your unselfish dedication, leadership, and continuous support of the ideals and principles of Rotary International. Thank you, Ray. You've had to put up with first Hurricane Dorian, and now we've got COVID-19, and you fared well with all these things that came up. So thank you for all you've done. So last night, if you didn't see Norby Rudell play his guitar in front of Jimi Hendrix's picture and other performers, you really missed something. On our program today, we once again have inspiring presenters. Today's program will hopefully inspire you and your clubs to show the communities around you who we are as Rotarians. We give powerful messages of hope to open opportunities and the power of Rotary. Our theme this year is Rotary Opens Opportunities, and our schedule today includes remarks from our district governor nominee, and Michael Kesty, and then we have required business by our district foundation chair, Alan Cohen, and at 9 o'clock, our Rotary International president-elect, Holger Knaack, live from northern Germany. There's a rumor he might install me as your district governor. So starting at 9 in the morning, please be online sharp to see RIPE, Holger Knaack. He'll be with us for about 50 minutes. Then we have 3 rounds of 5 classes each. That's 15 presenters. First round, Barb Arnold with Let's Set Your Rotary Club on Fire, Rotary logos on your pants, Marshall Butler, Public Image Boot Camp. We love you, Cindy Dora. Engagement is all Greek to Mr. Enthusiasm, Lashonda, Develop, creative ways to engage your club during these times. And now the extraordinary Her Majesty Nancy Barbie and John Nanny on polio and more. We need polio and continue this program more than ever. On round 2, Brian Holscher and our own Joe Altschult on creating a culture of giving in your club. Robert Sladoff for membership, and past District Governor Drew Monahan, Sparky Folker, and Rollo on caution, future world leaders at play. Rotarian extraordinaire, past RI Director Brad Howard, Rotary Now, Pivot Point to the end. And last round, Barbara Goby and James Bondish, District Governor Designate Michael Kesty, staying social during social distancing. My good friend, and I think Rotarian of the Decade, Walter Hughes Jr., winner of the White House Champion of Change Award on Transforming Lives. You don't want to miss that one. And oh my OMG, Patrick Eakes on Let's Create a New Rotary Club Experience. Lastly, Mike Soden on DACDB Essential Tips. We've invited our Rotaractors, future Rotarians, and many have joined in from Grand Bahama Islands, known as GBI. Every day in our local communities and around the world, our neighbors face tough challenges, diseases, discrimination, lack of clean water and sanitation, lack of economic opportunities, healthcare and education. These are our areas of focus. Our District 6990 covers Southeast Florida and GBI, and we want to make a greater impact on humanity with our projects, whether local or abroad. And to that end, I have set some goals, first mentioned at our first session Thursday for this Rotary year, that include the following: growing youth services with more Interact clubs and high schools and Rotaract clubs in colleges and universities. To help clubs grow their membership, we hope to start 5 new clubs in the district. 2 are already percolating, and we need your help to accomplish this. Thanks, Joe Roth, Lee, and L.U. Ferris on the Extension Committee. 3 more Rotaractors to get involved in our clubs and in our district. And 4, for the Rotary Foundation, we plan to raise $1 million that will be celebrated by a dinner April 17th next year. Thanks, Jennifer Jones, in partnering with us. Next, we've agreed to be a host on a Canadian global grant partnering with Rotary Foundation trustee Jennifer Jones, benefiting at-risk children in South Florida. And next, support our GBI Rotarians by having an economic development global grant. Number 8, we have changed the tri-level system and beefing up district committees to assist the clubs in growing their impact on their local communities. Area assistant governors, known as AGs, will report to the new position of executive AG headed by past district governor Joe Roth. The AGs will have their committee members that will provide help to better serve their club needs. And we ask president-elects, which was brought up at the training in PETS, to meet with their clubs and write a strategic plan of what you guys want to accomplish for your year. And we want to try to help you to realize that dream from the district level. 9, we're looking for volunteers to join committees and help us grow our membership that will result in a greater impact on local and global projects to better humanity. And lastly, number 10, we have set up bi-weekly meetings of the current governor line that includes yours truly, District Governor-elect Joe Schumacher and DGN Michael Kesty. This will enable us to be on top of district needs and the continuation of making sure that our short-term and long-term goals are effectively executed. We will work by consensus and hopefully deliver a better district for the long term. At the last 2 sessions, Thursday and yesterday, I thank outstanding Rotarians from the Grand Bahamas to Miami-Dade County and Broward. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Florida Keys, our Rotarians in the 3 clubs of Key West, and the Lower Keys, Bill Setzer, and Upper Keys, Dennis Caltagirone, who has, with his wife Liz, given so much of their time to their clubs and their areas, as mentioned to me from day one. Thank you, you guys. You are absolutely awesome. So we're so proud of what you all have done. So now we have a second disaster of COVID-19. Again, Rotarians, you have stepped up with many projects, and they are still ongoing during this pandemic, feeding the hungry and much more. We're taking a new approach to our district, thinking out of the box. Rotarians have a vision of what's possible for their neighbors. They mobilize other leaders and experts to take action and see it through. Rotarians are people of action. They're driven by a desire to create opportunities, strengthen communities, and find solutions to tough challenges that affect people around the world. We're a family, as I've mentioned, of 1.2 million people from all continents, cultures, professions, and experiences who connect through clubs. And many of us are connecting through Zoom. Right now, we have folks from Europe, Africa, Canada, and South America online joining this session. How amazing how this technology is bringing us together. Rotary clubs tackle projects of every scale and inspire fellow Rotarians, friends, neighbors, and partners to share their vision, exchange ideas for lasting solutions, and they take action to bring those things to life. So I want you guys to create your Rotary moment. I want you to have a dream for your club and your pet project, and with Rotary as your partner, you can make your dream projects come true. I've had that opportunity. I promise you, you focus, you work with Rotary, and those dreams will happen. We love the theme, Rotary opens opportunities. I look forward to meeting with every club in the district and share the meaning of Holger Knaack's theme. And now, past District Governor Drew Monahan is on next. Drew, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Peter. And I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to a great year ahead. Great message, and a stronger district is in our future. So thanks again, Peter, for that message. I have the honor, one of the many honors, of serving as the nominating committee chair, which for those newer Rotarians or guests, that is the committee that picks the next district governor. And in Rotary, we picked that governor 2.5 years before they actually served. So on that committee, I was proud to serve with Lee Fairs, Joe Roth, Dennis Cantiglione, Diane Landsberg, Clint Bush, Scott Jablon, Liz Knowles, and obviously the governor core as well of Ray, Peter, and Joe. And it's my honor and privilege to let you know that the committee has selected Michael Kesty from the Perrine Cutler Ridge Palmetto Bay Rotary Club. And I'll read a little bio from him and then we'll hear from him directly. So Michael Kesty has served the past 14 years as President and CEO of Net Marketing LLC, Health Ventures Inc., a consulting-based firm in Miami. In addition, he serves as Chairman of Government Relations Group LLC. Michael was born in New York and raised in Houston and Philadelphia's main line. His father, a decorated veteran, was a senior engineer at NASA and chief engineer of reentry for the Apollo missions. A lot of stories there that Michael would be happy to share with you guys. Michael attended Southern Methodist University as a chemistry and biology major, and Villanova University. He pursued his MBA at Villanova University and at the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. At SMU, he was the first freshman appointed college senator and was an active member in the Sigma Chi fraternity. He is the founder and chairman of Rotary Marlin Nights, Rotary Panthers Night, Rotary Dolphin Day, and Rotary Heat Night. Besides being assistant governor, he was special assistant to the governor to Charter Rotary Club Miami Metro Zoo, governor's representative to the Rotary Club of Pinecrest, served on the district disaster committee. He recently co-chaired the district communications committee with Barbara Goby. He was president of the Rotary Club of Perrine Cutler Ridge Palmetto Bay as well. And with his wife, Maria Kesty, definitely a well-known figure in the district. They have attended 9 Rotary International conventions, hosted a Rotary International exchange student in their home, and sent their daughter on a Rotary exchange program to Germany. They organized and chaperoned RILA in the past, also are multiple Powerhouse Fellows, and are members of the Rotary Bequest Society. Recently, he led a special project for his club, resulting in his club receiving a Peace Through Service Award at the United Nations headquarters in New York, presented to only 9 clubs in the world. Recently created the Rotary International District 6990 Foundation Corporate Funding Program, and which he now co-chairs, and recently has been nominated, as you know, as our district governor for the Rotary year 2022-23. Michael resides in Palmetto Bay with his wife Maria, and they have 4 grown children. Rotarians, guests, and fellow humans, please stand and rise as we welcome Michael Kesty into the Governor Corps. Now we'll hear from Michael with a few words. Please, Michael, take the floor.
The name is Kesty, Michael Kesty. Thank you very much for that fun introduction and going into so much detail, Drew. I appreciate that. I am honored to be nominated to serve for the Rotary year 22-23 as a district governor. I really am truly honored. I'm following in a line of some very dedicated and impressive Rotarians known as PDGs, past district governors. I've been fortunate to get to know most of them very well, some of them very, very well. Not only do I consider them friends, they've become family. Isn't that true, Brother Drew? Cousin Alan, Cousin Todd, Cousin Jim, Cousin Joe, Cousin Marcy, Godfather Bob, Aunt Debbie, Uncle Doug, I could go on. You're all family to me, thank you. The first Rotary Club meeting I ever attended was about 24 years ago as a guest. I was invited by a very attractive lady that I worked for. She manages the Florida operations for the company, the corporation that I was working with. And she wanted me to see the community relations effort that they were doing in the community. The meeting wasn't too much of a surprise to me. I had attended meetings with my father for Elks Lodge, American Legion, and of course my fraternity. So it wasn't that unusual of a type of meeting. But something really odd struck me at that meeting. I kept getting very, very funny looks from one older gentleman, very odd looks, and I couldn't shake it. I came back about a month and a half later, and I joined this attractive lady again to this meeting. And this gentleman, again, stared at me with these very, very odd looks. And I just could not think what was done. It's called a sentinel moment. And it's something that happens to you that sticks with you the rest of your life. So those odd looks were a sentinel moment. So I'll get right back to that in just a moment, but keep that in mind. So a few years later, I moved down to Florida. And this same attractive lady, no longer a coworker of mine, invited me to join her in her club at some Rotary Club projects. And I said, you know, why not? I had heard about them, seen them, heard from her and others about what they're doing. But I never, ever thought in my wildest dreams that serving food to the homeless at a homeless shelter would be so rewarding and feel so good. Or that delivering Thanksgiving baskets in the rain would feel so good. Or, and this one I laugh at, getting soaked head to toe with beer, serving beer at the Homestead Rotary Speedway, or the Homestead Speedway as a Rotary fundraiser. And just feeling so rewarded and so good about doing that. I just never imagined that feeling. And I felt at that point, I was part of something big, something important. I attended my first Rotary International Convention in Singapore in 1999. 2 weeks prior to our going to the convention in Singapore, we traveled China for 2.5 weeks with Rotary couples, 4 Rotary couples. And these were past district governors, a current governor, and future district governors that were all involved, obviously in Rotary, going to the Singapore convention. As we were leaving one of the monuments in Xi'an, the terracotta soldiers, I was walking through the gift shop, as everything else in tourist, you know, you have to go through the gift shop before you leave. And one of the Rotarians came up to me, if all of you might remember Arnold Galpin, a wonderful Rotarian. And he said, what club are you a member of, Michael? And I said, I'm not a Rotarian. I'm not a member of a club. He said, wow, with all the stories and passion you talk about, with things that have happened to you in Rotary, and I've been hearing you, you know, on the bus and talking to people and friends and Rotarians, you know, and all, you're not a member of a club? I said, no. But you know what he said to me? He said, you are a Rotarian here. Can't see, I'm pointing to my heart. He said, you're a Rotarian here. You're just not a member of a club. So you're a Rotarian here, just not a member of a club. That was quite an impressive moment for me, and it'll stick with me. When I got back, I joined a club. And at one of my first club meetings, the Rotary district governor, I mean, at the time, the Rotary district governor, who was a big shot to me because I was new to Rotary, I'd never, you know, I toured with these guys, came to the club and honored me by presenting me this special tie that I still have. So thank you very much, Robin Shelley. It really meant a lot to me to have a district governor focus on me as a new Rotarian. That was another special moment in Rotary for me. I was flattered to be asked to throw my hat into the ring to be nominated as a future district governor. As I considered it, I asked a past district governor that I hold in very, very high esteem what her thoughts were. She said, it's a wonderful experience and you'll be a great governor. In that moment, I made a commitment. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and offer my service. So thank you very much, Past District Governor Carleen Spano. Thank you very much. I was asked to use this time to share my vision for the Rotary year that I'll serve as district governor. Well, I'm going to be given, like all district governors, a whole host of tasks and lists and goals that we need to accomplish as a Rotary district. But you know what, in this district, I'm confident we're not going to have a problem and issue accomplishing those goals. That's a no-brainer for me. With the group of Rotarians we have in this district, that's not a big deal. But my vision for the year 22-23, and again, I'm hoping that we don't have a pandemic or hurricanes hit us. But you know what? If we do, look what we did. We came through that, and we're actually building a better district, a stronger base through all that. So again, I hope it never happens to us again, but you know what? Hurricanes are going to happen and disasters are going to happen. And as Rotarians, we're going to come through. So again, I hope my year, we're not faced with that. But again, look what we did to come through that. And, you know, I heard a comment the other day about, we were talking about going through this whole, the COVID issue and the hurricane and what this year brought and how it brought us all together. And one Rotarian said very clearly, what we did, that was powerful. That was powerful. So thank you very much to my incoming club president, Regine Jolie, for making that comment. You were right on target. That is powerful. So what I want to accomplish during my years, or what my vision is, let me get right to it, is actually just two very simple goals. We'll accomplish everything else that Rotary asked us to do. But what I want to do is I want to have others feel what I felt when I did those projects and when I still do those projects, that reward that I get. You know, it's funny, people feel guilty about feeling good about that. There's nothing to feel bad about feeling rewarded and that good feeling you get by doing something for our community. I want others to feel that and know that that is Rotary. The other is I want people to feel the love and the warmth that I feel in Rotary as my family. It's just amazing. I walk into a Rotary meeting or I call somebody or I can't explain it. You know, it's just a family feeling. And I want others to feel that because again, that is Rotary and that's what means so much to me. Just a few final items. You might ask, why the James Bond theme as my introduction? Well, take a look at the Rotarian magazine from last February, 2019. There's a story in there about me. And it gives you a little bit of flavor for why the James Bond theme. But better yet, I have an idea. Why don't you invite me to your club to speak? I'll do a short presentation, but more importantly, even though I'm not going to serve for a couple of years, I want to get to know you and your club now. I want to see what we can do to move forward and meet your club's needs as we progress. Things are going to change in between now and then, but I'd really like to get to know you. So invite me to your club. I'd welcome the opportunity. And you know what? Remember that attractive lady I kept talking to you about that took me to my first Rotary meeting? Well, guess what? Her name is Maria. She became my wife. So thanks to her, I'm a proud Rotarian. And someday, you know what? As we all know, she'll be a great governor too. And last thing, earlier I referred to an older man who gave me this very odd look at my first Rotary meeting and at my second Rotary meeting. And I couldn't shake it, that sentinel moment. That was the Rotary Club of Perrine, Cutler Ridge, Palmetto Bay that I attended, because that was the club that Maria was a member of. Well, his name for that sentinel moment that stuck with me was Tim Desmond. The odd looks were because he said, I looked like my father. Oddly enough, he knew my dad, as it turns out. What a small world. Tim was past district governor of this district. And he was from my club, the Rotary Club of Perrine, Cutler Ridge, Palmetto Bay. And he was the first and only member of the club to become district governor. That is, until I take the oath in a couple of years. I hope that I make my departed friend Tim and my club proud how I handle being district governor for you, the Rotarians. I'm hoping that you'll join me in creating some special experiences for others and having them join our family of Rotary. And I sincerely and truly thank you for the opportunity. The name is Kesty, Michael Kesty. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, very, very much for that speech. More to come. I look forward to your presentation, sir. Really, thank you for stepping up. I thank the committee for a very hard work, well done job, because we had a lot of great applicants. We're going to continue to have it every year. Next up, we're going to bring up Alan Cohn. We are going to finish this session before Holger comes with a business part of the meeting. There's going to be some voting. So Alan Cohn, if you wouldn't mind stepping up and taking care of that business for us.
I'm here. Hello, everybody. Okay. I am here. I'm here for the business portion of the meeting. It's a very short business push meeting. I see Maria. You're a little crying there. I saw that. It was like very, very, very touching. Very touching. As everybody knows, we have an MOP in our district. And by the way, you know, Rotarians are famous for letters and MOP, but it's the manual of procedure. It's like the Bible that we follow for the Rotary district. And there's a section of this MOP. And if you change the MOP, you need to take a vote of the presidents-elect. So the presidents-elect that are here on the call today, or their designees, need to email Maria if she stops crying. Okay, that's a joke. Okay, and with a yes or a no. And the only section we're changing, and it's kind of interesting that it's Maria that's getting your vote, because this section is being changed. We have had for years something called the Robbins Fund in our district, and it's our 501c3 for disaster relief. And a decision was made to just expand the Robbins Fund slightly so that it's not just for disasters. It will still be for disasters, and we'll still keep track of money that goes in for disasters, but it will also be for other Rotary charitable endeavors within what's proper in Rotary. So the only change is in Article 3, Paragraph C, Section 6. It's now going to be called the Rotary District 6990 Foundation, AKA the Robbins Fund. And it will be for not only disasters, but for other charitable purposes within 501c3 requirements and within the 4-way tests and the areas of focus, and the 6 areas of focus. So that's really the change. It's actually kind of important. When I was last year, when I was planning past District Governor Drew Monahan's Night of 1,000 Paul Harris Fellows, I was booking the event, and they wanted me to pay sales tax. And, you know, the district is not a charity, so I actually used Michael and Maria Kesti's club's 501c3 to save like $12,000 in sales tax. So this way we won't have to do this anymore, because we can do it at the district level. And we can also solicit sometimes corporations that want to do something nice for the district, ask you for your 501c3. So this will be it's basically only a change in one section. And the only change is the name is going to be the Rotary District 6990 Foundation. And we're expanding it to not including disasters, but other charitable purposes. That is the motion. It came out of committee. It was approved by the Finance and Procedure Committee, but it has to be voted on by the presidents-elect. So if everyone could now vote on that, yes or no. And Maria, just send it to Maria. You'll see her name. It says Maria Kesti, and that's it. That's the only real business item that we had today. DGE, Peter, about the vote.
Alan, let me jump in real quick. For those who are confused on doing it through the chat or not, that's why we decided to have you vote by email.
Okay, email fine.
You can also raise your hand on the chat. You can do it on the chat messaging as well, but whatever you're comfortable with. We do need a representative from, you know, obviously the president-elect from each club, if you could do that. Okay.
Very good. And that's basically it. That's the end of our business meeting. Everything else is taken care of. Everything else is tidied up. So there's no other votes. There were things that we voted on beforehand, and the president-elect's already voted on and approved them. So there's nothing else to be said today.
Great. Thanks, Alan. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the whole floor back over to Peter as we begin the second part of our morning plenary session. Peter, take it away.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Michael, for your compelling presentation. We've got another 6 minutes to go before Holger chimes in, and we'll introduce him. We will be having the German national anthem in respect to Rotary International President-elect Holger coming in. And so with these extra couple of minutes, I'd like to go back to our president-elects that are the key to the success of their clubs. And I want to reiterate how important it is that you guys in your club get together, either in a retreat or regular meeting, and write down some of those goals, a strategic plan. When you set those goals, please go to Rotary International Club Central. There you can put down what these goals are, and you can evaluate them and then visit them a couple of times a year, whatever you guys decide, and see how you're doing. And our AGs will be working hard to assist you. Work with your fellow classmates. I call my other district governor-elects my classmates, not only the ones in Florida, but in our zone 34. By the way, there are 34 zones around the world. And we communicate with each other. We try to help us out. How do you handle this? How do you handle that? So please use the resources of working together. You will see how by collaborating with others, you'll be able to get and to become successful. So leading Rotarians is working with your club leadership team, your board, and your club committees. Set up your committees. Some of you are huge clubs and you've got a lot of committees and a lot of folks working with you. And we've got smaller clubs and some of them are very challenged. So it's an opportunity as well to take a look at how you can get other members involved. The project that you guys do is critical, and doing that assessment in the community to see what is really needed. And when you start touching those folks in the communities to what they need, other people will notice. Your public image person, and Barbara Goby, again, my gosh, what an amazing job you've done. So proud that you are amongst us and doing what you're doing to publicize that. And the clubs as well, you guys, get on Facebook and do what you can to publicize what you want to do. Running your club also means reviewing your bylaws annually. And hopefully you have an attorney there, but you can also look to the district for people to help you. And perhaps some of the clubs might share a template of what they're doing, and you might get some ideas and cultivate it to what is needed in your club. So risk management, that's another one, folks. We have asked you to take a look at that if you're going to be starting to meet in person, social distancing and other requirements. So please look into that. It's very important that you are aware about the whole risk management area, and working with the district and your assistant governors can help you with these questions. And strengthening membership. Your membership committee is the key. And again, working with your AGs and your DMC, district membership chairs. And we're talking about as well diversity. So important these days that we accept all among Rotarians. Promoting Rotary through public image, social media, and now we have this Zoom. What a godsend that this has come here so we can communicate with each other. We have global grants in Africa, and we can actually join their meetings. They can ask us questions. We really didn't do this before. So you've got the Rotary Foundation that is so important to give to. These funds, after 3 years, come back to our district, and we want to ask you to support the $1 Million Dinner that's going to be coming up. We have a committee. You'll be hearing more about it. And then polio. We've worked so hard for so long to eradicate polio. We can't give up now. Can you imagine an organization deciding to wipe out a disease of the planet, of planet Earth? I mean, what incredible thinking, that how audacious. And yet, folks, we're down to 2 countries. And Nigeria, as Jennifer Jones mentioned last night, will be declared here very shortly polio free. And what that means is that Africa will be polio free. How incredibly amazing, with partnerships with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and so many other countries. It really makes us proud of this organization. So your projects, your service projects, you've got service opportunities as well, working with other clubs in the district. You've got grants that are available and programs that are available to get matching funds. So I appreciate the opportunity as well to become your new district governor. I'm so humbled by this, and thank you so much. Anyway, we're at 9 o'clock, so let's get that program going now. We're going to switch here and pause.
Peter, we have a minute or two before Holger joins us. I don't see him join us yet. If you want, we have some questions from the audience you can address if you'd like.
Well, you will have to take a look at those questions here. I can click on the chat box and see if there's any questions coming up. Oh, lots of comments. I haven't been able to read them. Why don't you facilitate that, Drew?
Yeah, no problem. And I'll keep an eye on Holger's arrival. So Rich Klein asked us regarding the change that Alan spoke about that was being voted on by the presidents-elect. Is the change contrary to why it was set up in the first place, meaning the Robbins Fund? When you spend money on other needs, will there be sufficient funds available for quote unquote disasters? I've addressed it, but if you could address the audience.
You want me to address that?
Please, Alan, please.
Okay. Yes, there is no change. The Robbins Fund will still be used for disasters. We'll just keep a internal ledger as to the money that's used for disasters. The money that's used for disasters, historically, people have identified for which particular disaster. Unfortunately, we're famous for them here down in South Florida. Ray talked about Hurricane Dorian, and there was Hurricane Irma, and there were, we have them one after the other. And when the money is given for that, that money is used specifically for that purpose and not for nothing else. Once in a while, someone might give for disaster that's a general disaster, so it's not earmarked for any particular disaster, but it's still used for disaster. It won't be used for any other charitable purposes. But if a corporation gives money and they say they want it to be used for feeding the hungry at the district level, hypothetically, then that will be kept in a separate portion of the account, earmarked. It will not be. We won't mix them up. If that answers the question.
Excellent. Thanks, Alan.
Okay.
Looking for other questions that people have, please feel free to do that. All right, Roberto Alonso has asked us, who are the two countries left with polio? I think Jennifer addressed that last night. Peter, if you want to jump on that.
Yes, Pakistan is the first one, and Afghanistan. And obvious reasons with Taliban, and there are still areas where we have difficulty getting into. And a quick note on that, we've had a very courageous Rotarian in Pakistan that was willing to be taken to the Taliban. He had been blindfolded, taken to see some of the leaders, and told them how important it was for them to immunize their children. And believe it or not, they actually agreed to do that. Unfortunately, many years ago, we had a lot of workers that got killed, but because of some courageous Rotarians, now they are being immunized, and you have to go through a 3-year process before you can actually declare a country polio-free. And Rotary International President-elect Holger Knaack went to Pakistan, and when he comes in, he may want to share his experience meeting the president of the country. So I'm trying to see if Holger has come in. Drew, do you see him on your list?
I don't see him yet, Peter. We do have another question. In the meantime, while you answer that, and we open up to others, Marcy, if you can also take questions, I'll reach out to his assistant while you guys are doing that. Question came up, exact tax deductible number. I guess the question is regarding, Alan, the new 501c3 for the district and how that works. You might want to address that.
What was the question on that one?
The exact tax deductible number for our district 501c3. You might want to address how that works and
yeah, no, what I was referring to is we have a We're already a tax-exempt organization as a 501c3 with the IRS. The problem is that we're organized right now only for disaster purposes, so we're expanding that, but we'll still be a 501c3. It'll still be the same 501c3 status with the IRS. What we want to do is to be able to get a sales tax exemption number also for the organization, so we can save money on district events when we start having district events again, when COVID-19 is over, and we can when we do an assembly or we do a conference. This way we'll be exempt and we won't have to pay the sales tax. But it's a sales tax number that we don't have at the district level. That's why I used the Kesties were very nice enough to with their president to authorize that's the Club of Bryan, Cutler Ridge, Palmetto Bay, to use their number when we did the event last year. But the IRS number will remain the same because it's still the same entity that we had before.
Okay, let's take another question. The schedule says 9:10, so I believe that he'll be chiming in at 9:10, so we still have a few minutes. So let's take some more questions.
Going okay.
Okay. Mark Cole, by the way, our current district secretary, has posted the tax ID number. Alan, just before we leave that, make sure that if you could address how clubs can use that number or not.
We are waiting for Holger to chime in. Please confirm.
Alan, if you
well, a lot of clubs will have their own club foundation that they use for various purposes. For example, my club formed one a few years ago, specifically because people, when we were soliciting from like corporations for our events, corporations would say, you know, what's your 501c3? And the club itself is not a 501c3. So we formed a foundation. Some clubs have foundations and they don't compete with the Rotary Foundation, because what they do is, for example, they may raise money for scholarships, which is something that we don't, local scholarships that we don't fund at the district level with our DDF with district grants. So a lot of people have things, but if a club doesn't have a foundation and they want to form a foundation just for that purpose, I can certainly help them if they reach out to me. But if they don't and they want to do something, possibly they'll give us a call and we can help them out, similar to the way the Rotary Club of Bryan, Cutler Ridge, Palmetto Bay helped us out when we didn't have one at the district level.
Thanks, Alan. Marcy, if you would take over the questions, let me go help over. Thanks.
Okay, great. Let me just look at, because questions are coming in via chat and also via. Rich, did you get your question answered, Rich Klein? But just so everyone knows, Rich had asked the question about how the Robbins Fund got set up, or why it was set up initially and why it was only disaster. Alan, did you answer that?
Yeah, the Robbins Fund got set up, believe it or not, after Hurricane Andrew. I don't know, all of you that have been in South Florida a long time probably remember Hurricane Andrew. It was a Category 5 hurricane that hit South Dade, kind of down Cutler Ridge. Homestead was hit very hard. And we decided at that time to form a disaster 501c3 organization at district level and what would happen is there'd be years when there'd be no money in the Robbins Fund. It'd be just like nothing. And then all of a sudden there'd be a disaster or two and people would give, and we keep the money in separate parts, you know, for each disaster. And then it might go down to nothing again until, because no disaster. So that's what it was formed for originally, and we're going to still use it for that. We're not changing that. We're just expanding it. So if somebody wants to make a corporation wants to make a corporate donation for something at the corporate level, we can use it, and we're not restricted just to disasters. But we will not mix up the pots. Okay.
Thanks, Alan. This is a real opportunity, folks, while we're waiting on President-elect Holger to really ask questions of your district leadership. You've got Peter, you've got Ray, you've got Joe Schumacher, who's incoming, you've got Michael Kesty. What an opportunity. You've got Alan, who is the foundation or the F&P committee chair, as well as foundation. So this is an opportunity that I'd say you take advantage of. I think Drew's gone off to try to find Holger in cyberspace.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I am the president of Bal Harbour Club, and we are working on, planning to work on global grant application for water project in Haiti. I need someone at the district level to mentor me through this process.
Alan?
Oh, what was that question again? I missed
So the Bal Harbour Club is doing, getting ready to, they're interested in applying for a global grant for Haiti. And she needs, she's asking for mentorship from the district on how to do that.
We can do that. We have a number of people who I can help as the foundation chair. District Governor-elect Peter is got his hands full with what he's got to do, but he's certainly is somebody you can always reach out to. And we have Jamie Tobin, who's in the Miami Club. Maybe she's on the line here today, hopefully. And she has been on the Global Grant Committee, subcommittee of the foundation. So she's someone you can reach out to. And there's various other people in our district who I can put you in touch with who've done a number of global grants who we can put the process together. So there's a number of people who you can reach out to at the district level that can help put together explain a little bit about global grants. I see your speaker is on now because I see his face down there. I see them.
You see Holger's picture there?
I do. He's on.
Okay. Oh, he sure is. Wonderful, wonderful. So glad to see you, Holger. We were a little bit concerned.
I was there. I was in front of your personal meeting room door, and nobody let me in.
Oh my goodness! Please forgive us. So, anyway, in honor of you, Rotary International President-elect Holger, thank you for being with us. Please all stand if you can for the national anthem of Germany. Thank you. Holger, what an honor and a privilege to have you amongst us today. And you are with Rotarians here in Southeast Florida and the Northern Bahamas. We even have people connected from Africa, Canada, and South America, and Rotaractors as well amongst us. So thank you so much. And to give your bio, Holger, you have been the director of Rotary International for 2013 through 2015 and president-elect here. You've only got 17 more days till you become president of Rotary International, and congratulations. You hold a degree in business administration from the University of Applied Sciences, Kiel, and since 1995, Holger has been managing of Knaack, has been CEO of the real estate company Knaack KG previously. He was a partner and general manager of Knaack Bakery Enterprises, a 125-year-old family business. Holger is chairman and founder of Carl Adam Stiftung Carl Adam Foundation. For 6 years, he also served as chairman of Rotary Youth Exchange Germany. A Rotarian since 1991, Holger is a member of the Rotary Club of Herzogtum Lauenburg-Mölln. He was RI Director and RI Treasurer, as well as a member of the Executive Committee of the Board. In addition, Holger has served as Council and Legislation Representative, Zone Coordinator, GETS Trainer, and RI Training Leader. He has been a member and chair of numerous RI committees. He was a moderator at the 2019 Hamburg Convention, HOC. Holger is a major donor of the Rotary Foundation, a member of the Paul Harris Society and the Bequest Society. Married to Suzanne for 43 years, the couple has hosted more than 40 Rotary Youth Exchange students. And in his leisure time, Holger enjoys sailing and playing golf. So, Holger, the floor is yours. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much for this kind introduction, for inviting me. It's always a great pleasure for me to speak to Rotary friends all over the world. That's an unbelievable opportunity we are having right now everywhere to do things like this here. So thank you again. And by the way, I remember quite well when we met the first time, Peter.
Oh, so, really?
Yes. You gave me your business card, and regarding these containers, and whenever you need help and have to ship something wherever it is in the world, please let me know that I'm able to help you. Thank you. I still remember that. Thank you for that.
Well, it's impressive you remember with all the people you meet.
Some people I remember. Yes, yeah. And now we are all at home. It's unbelievable. Nobody expected that. I remember quite well, of course, all of us, when I said in San Diego this year, we have to be revolutionary and we have to look for change. And I had no idea how this would become reality right now. And I think also President Martin Maloney never thought about how his theme, Rotary Connect the World, would be, yes, so real like it is today. We are indeed connecting the world. And I think this is the good of the situation, that we are learning a lot. And to be honest, I'm really happy being at home in times like this here. I think that's the best place you can be. I remember quite well when I was in Evanston and all travel were canceled and the office closed in Evanston in our headquarters. So I think we tried to get an earlier flight home, and that works. And so since that, Susan and I are here. We are pretty safe. We are here in Germany on the lucky side of everything anyway. And we are really, yes, it's normal comes back here. So we are able to do everything, going to hotels. We are able to travel. From next Monday, we can all borders in Germany and in Europe are open. So I think life comes back very, very closely. But what I'm asking all Rotarians right now is, please, if we are in Rotary, don't come back to normal. Don't go back to the times before the pandemic, because we learned so much here. And this is really the time to be revolutionary and to look for change. And I think it's most important is that we keep what we learned here, that we keep that yes, how we can connect the world and how this is making Rotary much more interesting. We are able to invite speakers from everywhere, and we learned that right now. That makes it can make our meetings much more interesting, and I think also, yes, it's also in our way how we look for new members. By the way, virtual meetings, that's also a good idea to look for new members. So just invite non-Rotarians for your virtual meetings if you have a good speaker from somewhere. This makes really sense. So, and let them know, yes, how interesting it could be, yes, being a Rotarian. very often right now, people ask me what my wish is as a Rotary International president next year. And then I'm saying, you know, I have really 2 free wishes, what I would like to see when I'm leaving office in a year. And this is number 1. It's, of course, I would love to see a younger Rotary. I would love to see a Rotary what is more attractive for younger members and Rotaractors, of course. And then I would like to see many more women in Rotary than now. That's more important in my country than in your country, because there's a lot to do in my country, having more women in Rotary clubs. But of course, also more women in leadership positions in Rotary. That's, and when we leave office, Peter, you and I, so I think then we achieve something if we see our Rotary clubs more attractive for younger members. So really, really, yes, I love to see people line up to become members of a Rotary club. And there are some Rotary clubs where this is possible. And so this is my dream for my year, and hopefully also for your year. And together, definitely we will grow Rotary, because this is the initiative Mark Maloney started this year. And of course, I will continue this initiative also in the next year. Growing Rotary means, yes, growing Rotary on all levels, not just on membership, but also on the quality of members, on the quality of club meetings, on the quality of our projects, and then also our fundraising ideas, and of course, our contributions to the Rotary Foundation, no doubt. And by the way, this is something what is, I'm really concerned right now. We learned that we are not saw significant drops in membership during crises, but always we saw a significant drop in our contributions to the Rotary Foundation. And that's something what is really concerned me, because it's not about the money, it's because of the projects, it's because of the impact to people who are really in need. And that's why I'm always asking people, please stay with us and go on and contribute to the Rotary Foundation, because we need your contributions more than ever in crises. Thank you for listening to this. Yes, and I think Peter always already talked about my messages. I think there's nothing more to say. I don't ask for growing by specific numbers, because whenever we have done that, we failed. I'm always asking you, look for the best people in your community. Look for the best people who are the best fit to your Rotary Club, and make sure that your club also meets their expectations. I think this is so important for membership retention. And then, of course, take care of them and engage them. 2 words to polio. It's, again, also belongs to my concerns right now, because polio, we have to stop all polio activities right now. We are not allowed to vaccinate children. Obviously, it's not possible to go from house to house to vaccinate children. And so, but still we need these contributions, because all the other things are going on, and stuff to be paid. And we have our Bill Gates challenge. And this is hard to meet this 50 million this year. I think we are ending with 43, 44 probably, but we are not quite able to reach this 50 million goal this year. So please stay with us and stay with contribution to the Rotary Foundation. So I will not talk too much. Peter is waiting to be installed as district governor. One thing what is also very important right now, that's our vision statement. So our vision statement and change and the pandemic right now and the days after the pandemic, that's all for me, that's really like a great picture. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. I think that's exactly what we are expecting, what we do and want to do as Rotarians. And it's also fit to my theme when I talked about Rotary being revolutionary and being change, and Rotary opens opportunities. It opens opportunities for the people we serve, and for ourselves. So it also opens opportunities for lasting change in ourselves. And I think this is something as Rotarians we always should think about. This is a special obligation we have as Rotarians with our core values, our 4-way test, and our vision statement all together makes us to Rotarians. And I'm looking forward to the next year, and I'm talked enough right now. So Peter, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and let me know when you want to be installed.
You can do it now, Holger.
Good. Yes. I think it's our destiny to serve in times like this year. So we can't change that, even if I'm always talking about change. But right now, you and I, we have to live, and all the club presidents are joining us right now here. We have to live with this, and I think all of us are going to do the best out of this situation, what we can, yes, to bring Rotary forward, but also to bring our communities forward and to help in our communities in times where, yes, it's really tough times, and that's different in this world. And again, so yeah, let's see. So I hope you and I, when we are leaving office, and all club presidents, we will see Rotary a little bit better than when we take office. I think that's our premier goal. And so it's my great pleasure, Peter, it's my really great pleasure to install you as district governor. Sorry, I take off my pin to give you the official pin next year. Sorry about that. Good. So yes. It's difficult to do this virtual, to pin you as district governor in 2021. And I'm, okay, do you get it?
Yeah. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. Thank you. Okay. Let me put that on here. This is amazing. Yes. Star Trek, you know, the machine, and it travels through the electronically. So
let's have a great year. I'm sure together we will grow Rotary with the help of all club presidents in your district, in your zones, and with the help, of course, of all Rotarians who are so committed to Rotary. So let's do really something for Rotary. And what I'm always saying, whatever happens, Rotary has also been fun.
Absolutely. You know, Holger, thank you so very, very much. It's one of those moments that one will remember the rest of their life. And this is what this is. So I got to tell you, your theme is so opportune. And I think that in life, everything is a trade-off. When something occurs, you lose something, but there's other opportunities that come. And Zoom is one of them. And it's amazing of how many of our clubs now have so many more people that are joining in. You don't have to get into traffic. And we're able to meet with some of us that have global grants with our clubs, wherever they may be on the planet. And so those are great opportunities. And I thank you so much. And if I can, a couple of more comments before we go to some questions. But we in our district are going to be having our $1 million dinner fundraiser. And so we are trying to convey your spirit, your enthusiasm of what you have brought to so many of us. And we want that to become, we have an expression, Kool-Aid, for people to drink the Kool-Aid here in our district, to get it, to get what we're doing, to get that we work for humanity and making a difference in people's lives. And at the same time, there's so much joy that comes back to us for making a difference out there. So thank you for just being a great leader. We're so proud to have you there. And polio, as you mentioned, is such an important thing. Many of us remember that when we were children. A lot of people don't even know what it is. You go to some of the high schools and they ask, what is polio? So we have an obligation to also educate the young and to also other generations to explain what that's all about. We have worked so long and so hard and put so much money and time. And here we've got Nigeria, which is on the cusp of being polio-free here very shortly. And what an accomplishment that we'll be able to say that Africa is polio-free. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you as well, with having Pakistan and Afghanistan being the last two countries, can you share a little bit about your trip to Pakistan and meeting the president and some of the things that you may want to tell us?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I love this word. So sharing some of these impressions. It was, so we went to Pakistan with past President Ravi Ravindran, incoming chair of the Rotary Foundation, and with the Polio Plus Committee Chair, Mark McGovern. The reason was simple, because yes, we saw that they have done simply not a good job in Pakistan. The numbers went up from 18 to 19, from 8 cases to 146 cases in 1 year, because they didn't do a good job in vaccinating people. And by the way, that's one good explanation if we want to create awareness for polio. Corona shows us how fast the virus can spread over the world. Okay, polio is not as aggressive as Corona, but if we think about the number of or the percentage of vaccinated children in your country, in my country, so polio can easily come back, and then there are no. It's not a high percentage of vaccinated children, so it could be also become very worse. So we went to Pakistan, and because of incoming trustee Aziz Menon, he made all these appointments and dates. So we were able to meet the President Imran Khan, the Prime Minister Imran Khan, and what is really important, the Chief of Army Staff in Pakistan. That's the man in Pakistan. And the Chief of Army Staff, he took more than 40 minutes to talk with us, what's going on in their country. And so they promised to do everything what is possible. And they put some people back in place to make sure that they are experienced people, to make sure that they are, again, able to vaccinate their children as before. And so we saw all these numbers. They had a national immunization day last December in Pakistan, when they vaccinated 40 million children.
Wow.
With the help of 250,000 polio workers and more than 100,000 soldiers to take care of them, to look for security. That's unbelievable. I think we are seeing the numbers of the results right now, because it takes about 5 to 6 months before you see results. And last week there were no new cases. So I think this is a good thing. They are aware that there is something to do for them, and they really admitted and that they have done a bad job, and they nearly apologize that we have to come telling them what they have to do. But it was very impressive how these people are committed to fight this virus. And then when we visited this polio headquarter in Islamabad, it's huge. There are working a lot of people. There are huge warehouses. There are refrigerators for the polio virus vaccine. Huge. You're looking and can drive through these large storehouses. That was amazing seeing that for me. Just as an example, there is a call center just dedicated to polio with 50 places. 50 people are working there all day just to make sure that they catch all cases or probably cases in the country. And they are right now, when we are there, they trained their people regarding Corona. So they moved the whole center and everything what is there to Corona, to fight against Corona. And I think the the good thing here is everywhere in Africa, everywhere in Southeast Asia, if there is a corona vaccine, so because of Rotary started this 40 years ago, there is the structure, there is the logistics to start immunization on the spot right now. And I think with this, Rotarians are on top again because it's because of us.
Well, excellent. I had brought up before you came on that we had a very courageous Rotarian in Pakistan that actually went into the Taliban country. I mean, that information is a few years old, but how is that, is it still allowed now for them to go into those territories, or what's that situation?
Yes, I think this is something I'm not looking through really. I think it's interesting if the Chief of Army Staff and also the President are talking for, how do they call that? Special areas. So without any rules and where, so this is I think that's interesting that they know that there are areas in their own country they are where there are lawless areas, they call that.
Sure.
Where it's a special law. So that's really interesting. But I don't know. I think this is like a hidden secret or whatever, how this works. There are so many parties involved in Taliban and people who are able to go in, who are able to go out. They are crossing the border. What is at least an artificial border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So the real borders are between the old structures and
right. So, but hopefully they'll be successful.
Yeah, and also the road of Taliban. Most of the Talibans, I think, are still in Pakistan. And I'm not able to look through that. Who is responsible for that, and who is influenced whom in that area? But I think definitely to be successful in that area, we have to work with the local people. We have to work also with the Taliban. We have to work also with the regional leaders and with the local leaders to make sure that we are able to vaccinate all children in that area.
Excellent. So Holger, we've got now folks that are checking the chat box. We have our past district governors, Marcy Ullem and PDG as well, Drew Monahan, and I believe Barbara Goby. I'm going to be looking at some of the questions and passing them on to you. And then after the session is over, I'd like to get back with a couple of more comments. And because of Zoom, we're going to have 3 rounds with 5 speakers with 5 different chat boxes for a total of 15 breakout sessions that the Rotarians get into. It's quite phenomenal what this technology can do. So Drew or Marcy, take it over.
Thanks, Peter. I'll take the lead there. And President-elect Holger, thank you very much. I got to tell you, most of what we're seeing is unbelievable support for your speech. Thank you for the positivity and the motivation. The way you guys did that pinning was a big hit, let me tell you. There's a lot of All right, so
it took a lot of rehearsals.
No particular order, but I'm glad that you linked the polio, all the experience we have with polio with the COVID response. I think there's a disconnect in some of the Rotarians on how those two fix. If you could just comment on all of the powers that we got, the relationships, the resources that the polio initiative has given us, is letting us to really react to the COVID. If you just really tie that up real quick for us, if you will.
Yes, Drew. I think that's what I said, because we are the one who started this initiative exactly 40 years ago in Manila, Philippines, where we had the first National Immunization Day, and I think this is and from that on, this works really. For me, it's unbelievable. It's like a miracle how it works till today. And as Peter said, Africa is polio free. And if we see what I said, what happens in Afghanistan, where they moved all the structure in direction of corona right now, That's also, if you think about 5 years ago, we had this Ebola outbreak in Western Africa. And the reason why this was, the fight was so successful in just a couple of weeks was also because of the structure and logistics because of polio. Everything was prepared to vaccinate against polio. And that's not just the structure of vaccination. That's also, it's also a healthcare structure is built in these areas. And this is really helping everywhere. And that's, I think, I think this is something what we shouldn't underestimate, that the development of a healthcare structure in rural areas in Southeast Asia and Africa, what happens because of polio. And that's also fields where a lot of our money went in. But it's a good thing, because nothing is more important as a good healthcare structure, especially in those countries. And I'm really concerned about what happens in these countries in Africa and also in Southeast Asia if the coronavirus is hitting these areas as it hits your country, or probably Italy or Spain in Europe. So I'm really a bit concerned. Someone asked me, why are we not more active in these corona things? The only thing I can say, so many governments in this world, so many large companies are putting billions of dollars into the fight against corona. That's nothing for Rotary. And by the way, this train is already so fast, and I think it's not Rotary-like to jump on a train what already left a station. So I think we should really look to be in first front when it comes to vaccinations. And we are working in Evanston on a public image campaign when it comes to vaccination, just because let people know, hey, this is possible just because of Rotarian had this idea 40 years ago.
Excellent. Thank you so much, President Holger. So we have several questions regarding your new theme and how it ties into ideas that we could provide members for a couple of service opportunities, fellowship opportunities. How do you see, with the current environment that we're in, that might be for the next near future, that your theme could tie into opportunities from service and fellowship and just overall engagement of our members?
I love this theme, and it was one of the reasons why I took it. It's really, it works to all sides. It works to the people we are serving. We are really opening opportunities, even if we are providing eyeglasses, if we are providing clean water, if we are providing a wheelchair. We really opened opportunities for the people we serve. But also we opened opportunity for us as Rotarians. And it's not just living a more meaningful and richer life. It's also, as you said, we have the opportunity to meet friends, to have a totally different view on everything, because we are in our Rotary clubs and discussing and learning a lot from it broadens our view. And I think what is important, it also opens opportunities for prospective members. So I think when we are going to marketing Rotary, our Rotary club experience, people should know that there's something that's also a benefit for them joining a Rotary club. So it's not just service what we offer. We offer a worldwide and local network. We are offering opportunities for increased leadership skills, free speaking, our unique youth exchange programs. So I think there's a lot of opportunities you can do this. You just have to open the door. You just have to go through that to make it possible.
So and on that note, what do you see other clubs around the world? How are they doing service projects? If you can throw some ideas of what you're seeing, engaging maybe in a non-contact or pseudo distance.
Yes, especially in areas when there was still a lockdown a couple of weeks ago, and there are still areas right now in the world where is still the lockdown. And so they ask me, what are we able to do in times of lockdown? And so my first answer was always, And this is an opportunity to do a community assessment. So to try to connect with local authorities, with large companies in your area, with other charities, with other nonprofit organizations, and then try to make a community assessment and look who can help where the best. And I think that's many clubs have done that. I think that's the way when nothing else is possible. And of course, clubs in Africa, clubs in India and Bangladesh, they are really helping people to survive, because all these people with just day-to-day jobs, they are really running out of jobs, and they are running out of food totally. And so they are really helping. The first help was really try to find food for their people.
Excellent. Thank you. A couple other questions we have. Is Rotary headquarters in Evanston available to serve the needs of clubs and members during this pandemic period? I think it's locked down though, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's even, you know, I think we can be proud, because Rotary International was one of the first large organizations sent their people home. And we had no one becoming COVID-19 while working. So I think we had eight cases in our organization, but all these happens after a couple of weeks after people worked remotely. So I talked about this with the General Secretary, and John Yuko, he told me that you think we are doing about 90 to 95% of the service we are doing normally. So clubs and districts are expecting we are able to provide. I think that's great, and that's because John Yuko and his team, they started already weekly meetings regarding the pandemic right after the assembly, right after already in January, and as a result, everybody was prepared to work remotely. There was enough computers for everybody. There was enough lines to make sure that they are able to reach the office. And I think that works really good.
Excellent. Just a couple more questions. On a personal level, what attracted you to Rotary and what made you stay?
Yes,
That's a good question.
I was joining an organization called Round Table before. That's it. But you have to leave this organization with 40. And many of my friends, they moved to Rotary. And so that's what to be very honest, that's what I also expected. And when I was invited, I was really happy to be there. So I had some experiences in service clubs. What makes me stay? That's definitely friendship. Definitely friendship. So that's something, that's all my saying. Whatever office you have in Rotary, district governor or director or probably Rotary International president, at the very end, you are in your Rotary club and nothing else. You are back among your friends. I think that's so important.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Another question here. Comment is, thank you for your positivity. Again, a lot of comments about that, Holger, absolutely. It says, thank you for your words about bringing women into leadership roles. What has prevented us from having a woman as RI president yet?
Yeah, so you know, there's a good option in 2 months. So first week of August, the nominating committee is meeting, by the way, virtual, because it's not possible in another way. And let's be excited. Let's be excited. You know, as more women we see as Rotary International directors, as greater is the chance to see a woman as RI president. So, you know, 1 year ago when Barry Rayson was president, there was no woman on the board. And next year, when I have the honor to be president, there will be 6 women. And in Shaker's year, 1 year later, there will be 8 women on the board already. So I think let's be excited.
Thank you. And another question near and dear to your heart. Rotary Youth Exchange has been significantly affected by the pandemic, obviously. Can you speak a little bit about Monday's RI board meeting on RI and what future RI would be with all the new rules and regs they propose? Many thanks.
Yes, we had a board meeting just regarding Youth Exchange last Monday. And it was, yes, it's because we are so flexible right now with Zoom meetings, and we are really able to have simultaneous interpretation in 5 different languages during these meetings. And we are also able, with another app, to vote as directors and members of the board. Yes, it was quite a tough discussion to cancel youth exchange totally or to allow it. So my view is that in areas where the virus is not as affecting the communities and societies very hard, it should be possible to do that. Of course, it will be hard to send people and our children around the world on the other side of the world. But so we allow short-term exchange from the beginning of 1st of October 2020 and long-term exchange right after the 1st of January 2021. Always, you know, the security and safety of our children is always, of course, that's top requirement we are doing. And then let's see, it's why not if, for example, when I see this example for short-term exchange in Europe, sending our students from Germany to Finland, for example, or from Germany to Belgium. Why not? If it's possible, you can do it by car. Nobody is trapped on airports or whatever. So that's for short-term exchange in areas where it's possible. New Zealand and also Australia already this year. Let's see. I think that's without a danger for children. But we have to be flexible, and this is what we told districts. They have really to make sure that children are all the time always on the safe side.
We're actually at the time that you're supposed to go. We have a bunch more questions. Peter, talk to me about the time with Holger. If we have more, go ahead, please.
Do you have a couple of more minutes, Holger?
Yes, I have a couple of more minutes, no doubt.
Well, these are going to take about 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. So let me go through here. One interesting question in Afghanistan, it's more worldwide focus. In Afghanistan, has the government of the country assisted our vaccination efforts in Afghanistan?
Yes, there were some times when they stopped vaccination just because of security problems. And yes, and also sometimes there was a resistance among the people in Afghanistan. And that's something they told us, you are putting so much money and you are coming every year and sometimes twice a year to vaccinate children. But we have no clean water. We have no access to medicine. We have nothing. And could you put some more efforts on other things than just polio? This is understandable, I think. And so we are working also with the general public, and as I said, with community leaders and with religious leaders to make sure that people trust us and that we are doing not the wrong thing. You know, there's also Facebook and other social media active in these countries, and sometimes they are, yes, looking to fake news here, and this makes our work harder. And by the way, in Afghanistan, there are not so many cases. Most of these cases we saw in Afghanistan were really swapped from Pakistan.
Excellent. Peter, go ahead, please.
All right. Well, danke schön. That was tremendous. You're living in the Schleswig-Holstein area. Would that be right?
Schleswig-Holstein is the northest state in our country, in Germany, with a border to Denmark.
Denmark, right?
I'm living northeast of Hamburg, and so that's it's a small state, but we have no new cases, no new corona cases in our area, and so yes, we are living, as I said, on the lucky side right now here in this area.
So we have some distant cousins near Lübeck, and I remember going into these people's backyard, and they gave me an aquavit, and all of a sudden I saw an ocean liner going through the backyard, and I said, oh my gosh, this drink is really small. Not quite aware of the East-West Canal, going there. So that was an amazing experience. But anyway, Holger, again, thank you so much. And on behalf of our district, and I'm matching the gift of $1,000 that we want to offer you to a polio program. Please let me know where you would like us to send that. And again, thank you for your presence today. You are an inspiration to all of us, connecting the world. And we hope to see you again soon.
Peter, thank you very much. Thank all of you. And as I said, don't forget, Rotary has also to be fun. For me, fun is the major driver for success. And so please have fun with Rotary and enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Peter.
Thank you. So folks, Drew is going to chime in now and give a little bit of heads up on some of the programs coming up here. So Drew, it's all yours.
Yes, sir. So again, thank you everybody for all your patience dealing with this new technology. We've had a lot of behind the scenes making sure this works for you. I hope you guys can appreciate that and being patient with us. For those questions we couldn't get to, I'm going to offer you this, that if you could send those to Peter directly. Obviously, you can see Peter's got a pretty good rapport and open conversation with Holger, and I'm sure he'd be able to respond back to them, Peter, because I couldn't get to everybody with the time constraint, but I think it's important. I think he would respond to those. What do you think, Peter?
Yes,
excellent.
That's excellent.
Just a little housekeeping. Yeah, just a little housekeeping. We're going to kind of cut this as fast as we can. We got to jump to the other 5 sessions. Just as a reminder, if you go to the district website, and I put that again in the chat window for you, you can join any session just by hitting join. If it's still a register button, then you have that registered link already. Or if you haven't registered, please click and jump in on any of the sessions coming up. We have, for the next 3 hours, we have 5 sessions per hour, and then we'll have a wrap up at 1 p.m. and kind of a final message. That's going to be a relatively short session, maybe 15, 20 minutes, just to kind of tie everything together and thank everybody. I'd like to also thank, at that moment, I'll thank our district training assembly committee who's been working diligently behind the scenes, putting together this extremely unique and first of its kind presentation. So if you would come back for all of us so we can have a proper farewell and wrap up party, that would be appreciative. Again, just remember, if you have any issues, reach out to myself or Marcy and jump on the links that you have provided or go to the district website to join the meetings. Remember etiquette, remember muting yourself, all the normal stuff at this point that you've gotten used to with Zoom. And with that, Peter, I'd like to call an end. And Peter, if you could end the meeting, that would be great. And I'll do the physical end.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you all again at 1 to 1:15 for our closing. And I officially call this first plenary session finished. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.